the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
They go play action. Winston. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
first down. Here's the run to Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The Saints are 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And last week they took one on the chin, but to me, this is a pretty resilient bunch. So I don't think they'll dwell too much on that loss. They'll be looking to come out in this one and make amends right now.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well, and that's what they did in their last game.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Jameis to throw it. The left side complete to Troutman. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain of 22.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On play action, Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. blowing that play up, Roquan Smith, as he gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Well, they sit him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Fields. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Winston. He's got the tight end, Vanette.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. And he's taken down here by the Saints. So now following the sack, Fields of the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now Fields. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be taken down, but yeah, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they need. And put this ball in the end zone.
Jameis now on first down. Out of the backfield. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
They certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number two, maybe they actually have the lead.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Fields now to throw. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jake Camardi now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Winston. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Looking here for Smith downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He hits Mooney going across the middle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
One play action. Fields on the move to his left. There's Mooney with another catch. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Play action. It's Fields out to his left. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
2nd down and 7. Back to throw. Fields. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
following the penalty. Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Fields. He finds Ross. Right side. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Trying to run it in with Montgomery. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, they'll try it out there for the next one.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On play action, Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. Against 2nd and 8.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Off play action, Fields. He'll buy some time right. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
17 yards. And the Saints, 1st down.
The 1st down throw for Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
If I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's 3rd and 4 now. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Bears on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Fields. Open man is Ross, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
A play fake. Now Fields to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he's taken down here by the Saints. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hope we'll get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Going with their tight end on 4th. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
And the Bears 1st down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And off comes to Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Certainly not the highest of scoring games, Charles. Their offense did some okay things. Not a lot of points on the board, but enough for the win with how their defense was playing in this one.
Yeah, they certainly brought their A game, didn't they? They weren't fooled by anything that was presented to them from start to finish. That defense, they might as well have told their offense, guys, just kick a field goal. We've got it today.
So for Chicago, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD, baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Dead homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury.